River water model. Some things happen to river water. You should know river water means the water is constantly flowing, and that is called steady state system. It is not equilibrium but steady state. Equilibrium is reversible, and river water is not reversible. It is continuously flowing from one direction or in one direction, particular direction, and the quantity of water more or less into a particular time period is fixed. Not throughout the season, but a particular season, a particular time, if you consider a few days at least, it is constant. So that is called actually steady state condition. It is steady state. So in the steady state condition, what is happening? Water is continuously flowing and flowing and flowing, and there are two things happening. One is happening pollution. People are throwing this and that. Okay, some people are throwing flower. Some people are throwing that immersing the idols, পুজোর পরে বিজয়া বিসর্জন আর কি হয়, মরা পুড়িয়ে ফেলে দিল, মরা পোড়া ছাই আমাদের, হ্যাঁ মরা পোড়া ছাই, এটা কি বলবো আর, তাই তো প্র্যাকটিক্যাল যেটা হয়, হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ no actually what people are doing, that I'm telling you. Sometimes you see some dead bodies also flowing, means dead animal, dead cow is flowing along with the river water. So what I mean to say, out of that what is happening, these things are getting degraded by bacteria. They are sometimes aerobic bacteria, sometimes anaerobic bacteria, and degradation going on. By this degradation, it is getting this complex material is getting decomposed and converted to simple material and getting mixed with the water. These are called in general called what? Oxygen demanding wastes. These are called oxygen demanding wastes, which are organic in nature. Clear? Organic materials, they are called oxygen demanding wastes. By decomposition of these materials that is thrown every day by some factory, by some common human, by some dead body, some dead dog floating in the water, and then getting degraded. Yes, so BOD is increasing, very good. BOD is increasing, and oxygen level going down. But after some time, as the water is continuously flowing and there is a circulation, oxygen from air is also penetrated in the water, and that is called the oxygen getting replenished. That is the particular language. Replenish, it is the language. That is the word. The oxygen is getting replenished. Replenished means getting fulfilled again. Recovered back. Very close term will be recovered back. The oxygen level going down. Na? Our oxygen chole asche. From here oxygen is getting added up, continuously added up. So the oxygen loss due to this degradation process is getting recompensated again. Compensated from the oxygen that is coming from air. That is called replenishment of the oxygen from air to water. So there are two things happening. One is decomposition and oxygen degradation of due to degradation the oxygen loss, and oxygen is getting added also from air. So it is replenishment of the oxygen from the air. So as a result, this is forming a model. The whole thing is making a model that is called river water model. How much fall, how much increase, etc. etc. And this model, first oxygen level goes down, right? Then it is going up, going down, then up. So this is called DO oxygen sag curve. DO means dissolved oxygen. Sag means fall curve. So the DO sag curve, understood? And the Streeter-Feld equation. For this particular this particular diagram or drawing, there will be some mathematics involved. That is the Streeter-Feld equation. Got it? There are a lot of YouTube collections. Okay. Lot of YouTube collections, and you can just type in the YouTube that Streeter-Feld curve. You can get it. Dissolved oxygen, you know what is dissolved oxygen? Amount of oxygen that gets dissolved in the water. What is the dissolved oxygen into our drinking water? আবার মনে করাচ্ছি, মরে যাবে 0.6 to 8. 6 to 8 should be our drinking water oxygen. Below to 6, below 6, if you have,
7 to AC
না না পয়েন্ট হবে না।
না 7 AC 7
তোমাদের এক্সপেরিমেন্টে পুরোটা পাওয়া যাচ্ছে না,
7.2 এরকম
একটু কম পাওয়া যাচ্ছে, অ্যাকচুয়ালি 7-8 আসা উচিত।
7.2
তাহলে তো ঠিকই আছে, 7.7 খুব ভালো এসছে, তাই তো খুবই ভালো এসছে 7, তাই তো বলার কিছুই নেই, খুব ভালো এসছে। আচ্ছা বাই যাবে, সো দ্যাট ইজ ওয়ান থিং, অক্সিজেন, দ্যাট ডিজলভ অক্সিজেন। হোয়াট ইজ ডিজলভ অক্সিজেন ইন দ্য রিভার ওয়াটার? একটু কম পলিউটেড না, it will be 5, 4, 5. Drain water 2, 3. Okay, there are a lot of source and there are a lot of sink. This source means oxygen is getting added. One is photosynthesis. Okay, tributaries and atmospheric diffusion. These are the sources. And respiration, sediment demand, organic matter decay, and these are tributaries means the oxygen absorption by some mechanism, যেমন মাছ অক্সিজেন নিচ্ছে জল থেকে, ঠিক আছে। আবার কিছু সিঙ্ক হচ্ছে, কিছু সোর্স আছে যেগুলো অক্সিজেন অ্যাড করে। কে অ্যাড করে? যেমন হোয়েল, ডলফিন প্রচুর খেলে, জাম্প অ্যান্ড ফল ডাউন। ওকে, দ্যাট ওয়ে ইট ইজ গিভিং সাম অক্সিজেন, অ্যাডিং সাম অক্সিজেন ইন দ্য ওয়াটার। হ্যাঁ, পার্টিকুলারলি ডলফিন মাছ নয় সরি, ডলফিন যখন লাফায় অক্সিজেন অ্যাড করে। হোয়েল যখন একবার করে এরকম করে ফোয়ারা দেয় না, প্রচুর অক্সিজেন অ্যাড হয়ে যায়, দেখো তো খুব সুন্দর স্ট্রিম করে when it breathes. So they are all giving some contribution towards oxygen towards the water, and for them the small fish they survive because the oxygen level otherwise will be very very low. So they have a natural tendency, the dolphin and whale, they are always taking lot of oxygen from the air and they are adding it to the water by different mechanism, by spraying water in the air, by jumping here and there, okay, by swimming, by jumping, by twisting the water, or churning the water. That is called churning, specific term called churning. By churning the water, they are adding oxygen from the air into the water. So these are the sources and these are the sinks. Respiration, DOD. Factors affecting DO: temperature, salinity, elevation. Elevation means depth. Temperature, what is the temperature kept, and salinity level. Acha, can you tell me what is the pH of marine water? Marine water pH কত? 8 একটু উপরে, ঠিক? 8 something, একদম ঠিক, slightly higher than 8. But if the salinity of the ocean goes high, that will always, salinity level will always changes the pH. Salinity and pH is highly related. কেন? Because some of the salts are hydrolyzed, no? Salts can hydrolyze. This is called hydrolysis of salt. Copper sulfate is given into water. What will happen? Copper hydroxide and sulfuric acid. As a result, what will happen? The water will be alkaline or acidic? Just tell me that.
alkaline থাকবে
না, অ্যাসিডিক হয়ে যাবে। জলে যদি কপার সালফেট দিই, এটা বলছি। হ্যাঁ, সালফিক অ্যাসিড হবে। Sulfuric acid is strong acid and copper hydroxide is weak base. So result will be acidic. No, a small pinch of copper sulfate you put into water, the water will become acidic. Measure the pH, it will be less than 7 because of hydrolysis phenomena. So what I mean to say, this marine water is also contain lot of salt that will be hydrolyzed, and by hydrolysis pH will be also constantly changing. So depending on salinity level, your pH will be also changing. On an average basis, I am telling it is above 8 and all, but it can change because of acidic rainfall, because of this temperature fluctuation, and the depth. So DO will depend on 3 phenomena. One is temperature, and this is elevation, the depth, and another one is salinity. Suppose a lot of water coming from polar region, by melting of ice, polar ice, lot of water, fresh water mixed with the ocean water. Then what will happen? Salinity level will go down. No, salinity level will go down. As a result, pH will also go down. So this type of different phenomena is happening always. Salinity means salt content. So Streeter and Phelps proposed this equation, mathematical relationship. This is called Streeter-Phelps equation. And the curve that we obtain is called Streeter-Phelps oxygen sac curve. Streeter-Phelps equation at the curve. This is the rate of deoxygenation. Kd is the proportionality constant and LT the remaining BOD value. So the rate of deoxygenation will be KdLT. Depending on how much BOD present. That's why proportional to LT. So if you make it equal, some constant term will be there. That's why KdLT. আচ্ছা, so LT will be L0 to the minus KT. এটা আগে করেছিলাম, এই জিনিসটা করেছিলাম। হ্যাঁ, এটা না থাকলে এটা হবে কি করে? কেডিটা ছিল না, তখন ওখানে কে ছিল, এখানে কেডি, ডি ফর ডিকম্পোজিশন, ডিগ্রেডেশন, ডি ফর ডিগ্রেডেশন, additional thing that I am adding. This is KD. KD is decomposition or degradation that is there. So LT equal to L0 to the minus KT. So therefore, if you apply this here, what you get? KD into L0 to the minus KT. Rate of reaeration. Oxygen getting added from air. That is Kr into D. Reaeration rate constant into D. D টা কি? What is D? এখানে লেখা আছে DOS minus DO. What is DOS? No, DOS মানে হচ্ছে dissolved oxygen saturated value, saturation value. Minus DO, that is any other time. This is saturation, this is any other. So difference is D. What is D? না, কি চলে আসবে? না, DOS সবসময় higher, 9.2 এটা, fixed তো। room temperature হলে 9. ধরো 9.2 আর এই ডিওটা ধরো 7, কি করে নেগেটিভ হলো? ডিওটা ধরো 7 বা 6, সবসময় কম। So this will be always positive and this is called, this difference is called the deficit. Deficit মানে বোঝো, deficit ঘাটতি। তো এখানে ওই ঘাটতিটাই পাচ্ছ তো, how much oxygen could be there and how much oxygen actually there, that is the deficit. Difference is the deficit.
কোন আইডিয়াল সিচুয়েশন হবে যেখানে ডিওএস আর ডিও সেম হবে?
না, সেটা তোমার বানাতে হবে, ল্যাবে করো, জলের মধ্যে প্রচুর অক্সিজেন বাবলিং করা হবে, প্র্যাকটিক্যাল সিচুয়েশনে পাবে, প্র্যাকটিক্যাল পাবে। হ্যাঁ, খুব ভেরি ক্লোজ টু প্র্যাকটিক্যাল পেয়ে যাবে তুমি, সেটা গঙ্গোত্রী, যমুনোত্রী, ওগুলোতে পাবে। কেন? যে এয়ার ওয়াটার ইজ ভেরি ভেরি পিওর না, অ্যান্ড দেয়ার ইজ এ লট অফ সার্কুলেশন অফ ওয়াটার উইথ এয়ার। জলটা ঝরে পড়ছে ওপর থেকে উইথ এ ভেরি ট্রিমেন্ডাস ফোর্স। নায়াগ্রা ফলস, ওই রকম জায়গাতে অক্সিজেন কন্টেন্ট হাই, particular. The water is very pure and also the circulation is very high rate. So in that case you get very close to saturation. So this is what dddt, the change in deficit with time, equal to kd L0 to the minus kdt minus. This is the degradation and this is the reaeration. এটা দেখা বোঝা যাচ্ছে কি? দেখো তো, this is the deficit, rate of change of deficit with time will be equal to the degradation minus the reaeration. Rest thing I want to avoid. Too much of calculation, mathematics you don't need. That is not required also. Okay, yes. Next, go to the curve. This curve is easy to understand. You just try to understand this. This one, there is a fall. Suppose there is a plant leaf falling into the water, the degradation started over here. So due to degradation, oxygen level going down, down and down, it will become minimum. After that, due to reaeration, oxygen is again going up and up and up. And it is this merging again with this dotted line. Got it? Some deficit will be always there. At the beginning also there is some deficit. That is called D0, initial deficit. Just at the beginning, the deficit there is called initial deficit. That is D0. And other time, the deficit, D. So, this value It is called critical oxygen value. TC, critical time. XC, critical distance. Zero mane, what is zero here? Starting point, where from the pollution is started. So suppose there is a drainage water. From a drain pipeline, some polluted water is getting mixed with the river water. This is my starting point, zero. That is the initial point, entry point, zero. After that, the water is flowing along with the wastewater. So oxygen level is going down, 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 because bacteria is degrading this material present. Okay, so it is going down. After some time, again oxygen level will rise up because of circulation. So again reaeration is taking part, and you are getting this. So this is the overall curve, and the minimum oxygen level critical value that you get from zero, that is called critical distance or critical time. And what is the relation between distance and time? X equal to u into t. X equal to distance, u equal to the velocity of the river water, and t is time. Got it? So this is called Streeter-Feld oxygen curve. River water model. Who said that EVS does not have mathematics? Lot of mathematics. Sometimes you cannot digest it. That much of mathematics. So না লোকে মনে করে না ইভিএস মানে হচ্ছে শুধু গল্প কথা, সেটা যে ভুল সেটা দেখালাম।